Introducing our Ultra VP virtual pinball machine. So for those of you who do not know what a virtual pinball machine is, the biggest difference is the playfield. The playfield is actually made up of a screen, not a mechanical single game. What that means is you can actually play over 1,000 different tables in one single unit. It's really incredible. What we've done here with the Ultra VP is we've improved it to the point where it completely feels like a real pinball machine. And how did we do that? Well, first of all, starting out with the screen. The screen is a 4K display. It's an LG 4K Ultra HD display. So as you can see here, just from the details and showing you how this has been reproduced, even though this is a two-dimensional screen, you can tell that it looks three-dimensional. It is really incredible. Another thing we've actually added to this machine is digital nudging. So as the ball comes down the play field, you can nudge this forward, sideways, any which way you want, and the ball will digitally react to your nudges. A lot of the virtual pinball machines so far that you've seen out there do not do that. The other thing that is incorporated here are 10 solenoids. What that means is we are literally reproducing the shaking and the rumbling that you would normally feel when a ball hits bumpers, or these side bumpers here, the ones up on top, of course, the red ones. All of that gives you that shaking sensation that a real pinball machine would give you. Now let's talk for a moment about Skillshots. A lot of these virtual pinball machines that you can find out there have analog plungers. We have a digital plunger. That makes a big difference because as soon as you start pulling back here, you will see the picture, the digital representation, pulling back just as fast at the same time. You can literally achieve those skill shots. As you can see here, this is a good example of a table that needs you to adjust your skill shot so that you can actually achieve that 100K depending on how hard and how much you pull it back. Another very important feature on this machine, under the Ultra VP, is the shaker motor. Shaker motors are important when you play certain tables that have motors that engage when an arm moves that picks up balls or anything that's mechanical in nature. This unit has an actual shaker motor built in that you can adjust the intensity. There's a knob that we've built in, and that intensity can be adjusted to your liking. If that wasn't enough, we've added an additional dimension that is normally not found on regular pinball machines. You can see in the back here we have those 5 what we call LED flashers. They're RGB LED flashers actually. They can basically reproduce any color that is available, and the game itself is controlling those. So as you play, you're going to have different colors depending on the different games. So a game like Ghostbusters would flash green quite a bit. A game like Attack from Mars, a table like that would have a lot of red and a lot of white flashes. That is game controlled. So also underneath the cabinet we have an LED strip that goes along the entire perimeter of the cabinet, and that also is game controlled. So when a table starts up, depending on the theme, you will either have a red glow or a black or green glow or any kind of other color that makes sense. And during gameplay, those will also flash and adjust according to gameplay. So all of this that I've just described to you is what we call a fully DOF enabled virtual pinball machine. So if you look out there, there aren't many available, and if they are, it's usually a one-off. It takes a long time to get them. We offer them within a 3-week period. So if you order from us, you can have it within 3 weeks. It's going to show up. We also can wrap it in any kind of artwork that you want. On our website you will see there are hundreds of choices, and we can custom design, something that we do on a regular basis for people with their team colors, organizational logos, etc. On the back of the cabinet you can see these 2 switches. Those switches are important because they allow you to disable both the lighting and the rumbling functionality of DOF if you do not want them. So I'm going to show you here the details of one of these tables. This one is called Cyclone, one of my favorites as I was growing up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the play field and literally show you how crisp this 4K display really is. And a side note here, this is an edge-to-edge 49-inch screen. So it's a wide body. It's one of the largest you can find, and it has been designed so that the railings here, as you can see, they are literally being extended over the glass so that you do not see any bezels. So there are no bezels on this unit. It's beautiful. Okay, so as you can see, here is the detail of just one of the many tables that you can play on this one single pinball machine. I will demonstrate a little bit of gameplay here. I'm not going to keep it too long because we have other videos that show you gameplay for various tables. And remember, those flashers on top, some people like them, others prefer to switch them off, and that is easily achieved. And as you can see, the physics of the ball, everything feels perfect, and nudging is fully enabled with a gyroscope inside the unit. And as I mentioned earlier, the under cabinet glow, this is now yellow for this particular table and will flash with the game as it goes. And I wanted to show you this plunger. Remember I told you that it moves as soon as you move? There we go. You can see the plunger is, you can adjust it exactly like you want. I'm going to try to get that skill shot. There we go, 25,000 points. So yes, this is absolutely incredible. You really want to get your hands on one of these. And again, for less than the price of one pinball machine, you get a pinball machine here, a virtual pinball machine that's DOF enabled and has support for 1,000 different tables. The front of it here has a coin door that is functional, but you also have your coin button. You have your start button here, and on the other side, a launch button and an exit button that we have installed. Don't forget the subwoofer that we have built into this unit, and also a high quality sound system, which of course adds another dimension to the quality built of this unit. It is extremely sturdy. I mean, you just barely can move it. It's just enough to nudge. And everything that you see, the railings, the lock bar here is a real lock bar that comes off, just like any old pinball machine would. All of that is powder coated in black, and it doesn't smudge. You cannot see fingerprints on this particular design, and it allows for really nice contrast of the play fields when it's black. I wanted to briefly talk about the quality built, the built quality of this unit. So it is extremely sturdy. I mean, there's absolutely hardly any way to move it, just enough to nudge. The other thing I wanted to mention is the railing and the legs, as well as the lock bar, are all made out of premium steel, powder coated in black, gives it a nice contrast compared to the play field. and it is powder coated so that you cannot see or smudge it with your fingers. It's, you know, smudge resistant basically. So thanks for listening. We can answer any questions, get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to invite you to play one of these units and experience it for yourself.